The Beginning After the End. Chapter 204. Uto's Weakness. The highly anticipated Chapter 204, titled Uto's Weakness, delves deeper into the intense rivalry between Arthur and Uto. To recap, Uto, a retainer of the infamous Vritra clan, is the one responsible for killing Alea, one of Dickathon's 6 lances. Her death left a void that was later filled by Arthur himself. The chapter begins with Arthur and Uto stepping into the bright daylight, leaving behind the ominous underground slave warehouse of Sebastian. As they walk, Arthur can't help but notice the stark difference in Uto's strength compared to the last retainer he faced. Their walk is casual, yet it carries an underlying tension, a silent promise of the battle to come. Uto begins by declaring his motives: revenge for Alea's death. However, Arthur coldly dismisses this notion, stating that this isn't about vengeance. Uto is merely a threat that needs to be eliminated. Frustrated and disappointed by Arthur's lack of emotional involvement, Uto snaps. In a horrifying display, Uto starts slaughtering innocent civilians without hesitation, sending shockwaves through Arthur. As bodies fall, Uto taunts Arthur further, threatening his family. Arthur struggles to suppress his anger, but when Uto mentions Tessia by name, the last thread of restraint snaps. The battle begins. Arthur launches an ice spell, but Uto blocks it with ease. Not wanting to risk any more civilian casualties, Arthur uses wind magic to throw Uto into an open area where they can fight without endangering others. With Sylvie by his side, Arthur charges. Uto counters with a devastating spell, summoning black spikes from thin air. Arthur and Sylvie work seamlessly together, Arthur slicing his way toward Uto while Sylvie covers him from above. When Arthur swings his sword, Uto blocks, but Sylvie's whip-like tail lands a solid hit, sending Uto flying. Yet, the attack barely phases him. Uto retaliates with a brutal assault. Black spikes erupt behind him, but he shatters them with lightning magic. Arthur relentlessly swings his sword, only for Uto to evade with infuriating ease, mocking Arthur's efforts. Sylvie, ever vigilant, warns Arthur telepathically that Uto is growing stronger the longer the fight drags on. Realizing this, Arthur slams the ground. Observing how Uto conjures his black spikes, it becomes clear. The spikes manifest only in shadows. This revelation turns the tide of the battle. But before Arthur can act, Uto grabs his hood and slams him into the ground. Despite the pain, Arthur climbs onto Sylvie's back, and they ascend above the shadows, breaking through the clouds into the open sky. Yet Uto proves relentless, flying after them. In a daring move, Arthur leaps from Sylvie's back, accelerating with thunderclap impulse as he descends toward Uto. His sword slashes down with electrifying power, but Uto evades once again, retaliating with a spike. Arthur deflects the attack mid-air, using Sylvie as his foothold. The battle rages on, with Arthur's lightning magic failing to land a decisive blow. Uto blocks each strike effortlessly, growing more disappointed with Arthur's performance. Sylvie warns Arthur again, urging caution. Finally, Arthur channels an immense surge of lightning into his sword and impales Uto through the chest. For a brief moment, victory seems within reach, but as Arthur and Sylvie prepare to end it, Uto rises. Beneath his bandages lie metal studs that cast shadows over his entire body, allowing him to maintain his full power no matter the conditions. The chapter ends with the fight far from over, leaving readers on the edge of their seats, eagerly awaiting the next installments.